Ladies and gentlemen, we are live right here on the Je Vaughn Show. Thank you for joining. I was supposed to change into a shirt that was reflective of the occasion, and I logged on late and then forgot because I got to talking to my first guest of today, as if I had three on the show. He's my only guest. Listen, we already starting off live. You can tell we live.
Absolutely.
Let me shut up and introduce Mr. Kenny Smith. How you doing, Kenny?
What is going on, man?
Listen, the world is a beautiful place. We are live here on Facebook Live. I'm in Dallas, Texas, and you are where?
In Columbia, South Carolina.
Columbia, South Carolina. And how is Columbia, South Carolina doing these days?
We are locked down. 100% locked down, man.
Ooh, just a little bit longer. Well, we're going to get into all of that in a second. But for those who maybe one of the 5,000 people that is not your Facebook friend, or one of the hundreds of thousands that have heard you all over the world, who is Kenny Smith?
Man, that's a big question. I don't know. I'm just me. I guess if it was based on title or what I do, I'm a singer. I'm a songwriter. I'm a background vocalist, a little bit of everything. I love music. I love God. I'm a husband. I'm a father. That's pretty much the gist of it, man. I'm just a normal guy, man, that just love music.
Clearly you love music, and clearly people love your music. You started off young, what music teacher as a parent, and what was your other gospel or music influence as a young man?
My mom has been a music teacher for about 30 years. So yeah, she kind of taught me a lot of stuff growing up. She was, in church and was a minister of music. My dad was actually a singer as well. So I was in a musical house growing up, and I was a church kid. I was a PK. So I didn't really have many options, when it came to whether I was gonna, go to church or do music or anything like that. It was my nature. And I started when I was about 4 years old, like playing keyboard and stuff like that. And then I started playing at churches when I was 6. So yeah, man, it's always been a part of my DNA. My grandfather was a singer, a quartet singer back in the day. It just goes back generations, with music being a heavy influence in my family's lives on both sides. And so when I grew up, I developed a love for it. Of course, my parents, wanted me to do music, but it was also something that I had a heart for really at a really young age. And so over the years, I just kind of, tried to perfect my craft and tried to really like hone in on and then I just kind of branched out and just kind of was looking for different types and parts of music. So I love all different kinds of music, really eclectic vocabulary musically. And then about 11, 12 years ago, I decided, well, hey, I had some friends that were producers and singers and musicians, and I've kind of always been surrounded by music folks. And so my friends, we were all just like, hey, let's record some music. So I put out my first EP. I was just kind of playing around. I didn't really expect people to really grab a hold of it and like make me an artist, for all intended purposes. Because I didn't know I didn't want to be an artist or anything like that. I enjoyed leading worship. I enjoyed, church music. I enjoyed all that kind of stuff. And then I don't know, I started flexing the writing muscle. And so I started writing a lot of songs, and it just kept coming. So we just kept recording. And
backing up a little bit, Transformation was the EP that you first EP?
Transformation is my most recent full LP, my last album.
Okay.
Before that, I had, I think, 2 or 3 other albums, and then 2 EPs or 3 EPs, something like that. So
starting off as a young man though, and you said been in the church forever, and you've been playing for other people and been playing since you were 6. You're not tired of gospel music yet?
Oh man,
you're in your You're not tired of it?
No, I don't think I'll ever get tired of it because it's so many different branches and arms of gospel music. You know, like gospel music is one of the few genres where you can have every other genre of music recognizable within that genre. So you have urban gospel, you have you have CCM, you have pop gospel, you have every different genre of music you can find it represented in gospel music. So it's so much music out there, man. There's so many different artists, so many different approaches. It's a beautiful thing because I don't think that the creativity of God ever gets old. So as long as he's creative, then we're creative. And so, but because of that reason, it's like I never really get tired because every time I get to that point, something else new comes out. You know, there's this new artist that comes out underground or something like that. So yeah, man.
So with all of the artists that are coming out and so many options for people to listen, why are so many people attracted to your music? What makes your music unique and special?
I don't know, man. I from the beginning for the last 12 years, I do not know. I have no understanding why people listen to my music. I think, I think it's based on my experience. And I think maybe there are people, that have had the same experiences. And it's something within the music, an undertone within the music that they identify with. I know for me, I write a lot of vertical music. So it's not necessarily glorifying my issues or my problems, but more so glorifying God and just exposing how good he is. And I think, maybe that's a common note for people, especially during times like this. You just want to know that God is with you. And so I don't really know why people kind of just grab the whole of the things that I've written or songs that I've sung, but I'm appreciative. And I think that's one of the main things that kind of keeps me, pursuing and keeps me going because, with the state of gospel music, as far as on the business side, it can be a challenge. And it can be a challenge that would kind of make you be like, nah, I've had enough. But I think because of the support that I've seen from so many people, man, across the country, across the world, really, man, it's just been something that inspires me to keep going. I think people inspire me more than I've inspired myself. So, yeah.
I know that you write your music, like you said, vertically. Now, when you've been giving God so much praise and you've been doing it for so long and you have stayed committed to him, and then you get stricken with cancer, that there isn't a moment in there where you're like, you know what? After all this work that I've done, I'm not trying to be Job or nothing, but out of all this work that I've done, and you give me this, how do you continue to write to him after he's giving you something of that magnitude?
I think I had to change the way I look at my life versus the way God looks at my life. I see my life in time, because we live in time. So all I can thank God for is the blessings that I've seen or I've witnessed. But I think when God looks at me, he sees like a pile of blessings from my whole life because he's looking at me outside of time. So when he looks at me, he sees everything that he's done for me from birth to the end of my life. And so I started looking at myself in the same way. Like I got to be appreciative, not just for the things that God has done for me up to this point, but I got to be appreciative of that big pile of blessings that's really sitting in front of me that I haven't even, gotten the opportunity to experience yet, but I know belong to me. And so when you think in those terms, it kind of changes your perspective and it always leaves you in a place of being grateful and being thankful, even for what you don't see yet, even for what you don't have yet. And so that's kind of the place that I try to live in. That's the space that I try to dwell in just to make sure that I'm always in a posture of giving thanks, being grateful, and understanding that the blessings of God never cease. Even when I stop living, God's blessings over my family, God's blessings over my kids, all of that stuff keeps going. So if I can spend my little bit of years here on earth giving God the glory, it still wouldn't be enough, to be grateful for all the things he's done,
Absolutely. So, what were some of those songs that you did write during that season when you were stricken with cancer?
When I had Transformation, a bulk of that album was written while I had cancer. Like I said, in 2015, I had cancer. It was up to stage 3, and before I even knew that I had it. So a lot of those songs that I wrote on that album were about that experience. One song in particular called "It's Me" was I had just gotten like some bad news about, my condition during that time when I wrote that particular song. And so I just sat down and was just like writing and pouring out. And that particular song came to me then. And that's probably one of the more successful songs that I've ever written. And I know it's been played all across, different places, different countries and all that kind of stuff. And so every time
Can you remind me just a little bit of how that song goes before you keep going? Just give me a little bit of "It's Me," just a T90 bit so that I can remember the melody.
All right, it goes like Holy Father, great Redeemer, draw me nearer, nearer to thee, precious Savior, my sustainer. It's me, oh God, it's me. That's how I go. I think your mic off.
And that's why I need a producer. So when you're sitting there and you write that song, right, and you get done, do you sit there and go, "Yes, I'm a genius," or do you just get like, where did that come from?
No, man, listen, when God gives me a song, it still blows my mind. Like I'm like, now I know I'm good, but I'm not this good. So when he gives me a song, I'll be like, wow. I still sit back and like sometimes I rarely listen to my albums or anything like that, but sometimes I'll just play them and I'll be like, bro, you know what I mean? I'm still I know that God could have chosen anybody else to download that song to, but he chose me. And so I'm I just stay in that place of, I'm just grateful, man, because I'm still writing music. And some people they have a good run and then they stop writing or they stop singing. And God is still like downloading new music into me. And that's just, I don't take it for granted, man. It's something that everybody's not able to do that. And so the fact that God chose me, that just, it blows my mind every day, man.
Well, your music is definitely a blessing. And I know that you've been encouraged by some of the older music and singers. And that's where I want to take you to for just a quick moment. I do this show, or I do this thing on my show, and it's like the top music or top picks, or it's a break. And I can't find the banner for it right now because, again, I produce my show and I shouldn't.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring up, and we've got to get rid of one.
Okay.
So let's start with Richard Smallwood. He's got 4 songs: "Center of My Joy," "Total Praise with Vision," "Holy Thou Art God," and "Calvary." Which song gotta go? And yes, you got to choose one.
Man.
Yeah. Ain't easy, is it? "Center of My Joy," "Total Praise," "Holy Thou Art God," or "Calvary." Which one must go? This is the test to see how saved Kenny really is. Use his mind, God.
You say what?
Help him make a wise decision. No, which one got to go?
I would say "Center of My Joy" got to go. Not
"Center
because
of My Joy,"
good, but it's the
no,
other.
no. Incredible. No, you gave your answer. That's what we're sticking with. "Center of My Joy" got to go.
Right.
Next, Ricky Dillard and New G.
Okay.
All right. So the question is, which one has got to go? Are we getting rid of "The Holy Place," "More Abundantly," "Amazing," or "Great Things"? Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I would say amazing.
Tim Joy's gonna be upset with you. She's gonna inbox you,
I
Doc.
would be upset, but the rest are staples. You can't. I mean, the
They
rest
are.
are like classics. So
For those who don't know, before we dismiss it off the planet, how does amazing go? Just a little bit of it, if you don't mind.
you're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. So amazing. That's all.
That one right there. Next, we got two more.
Okay.
Which one has got to go? We've got Kirk Franklin staples. We've got Conquerors, Melodies from Heaven, Savior More Than Life. Looks like you already made up your mind. And Jesus Paid It All. Off of this classic Kirk Franklin album, which one's got to go?
I'd say Savior More Than Life. Savior More Than Life got to go.
Savior More Than Life. And before we banish it, can you give us a little bit of sample of it, please?
Savior more than life to me. You are the joy in air I breathe. No other love shall there be that makes my spirit sing. Yeah, that's how that one goes.
Oh, that's a good one. Now, there's somebody that was like, I don't understand how he could get rid of Savior More Than Life. So we want to bring in Quinn. Hey, Quinn, can you believe the choices this dude made in the which one got to go?
He's a nightmare. I get on him all the time about his musical selection, believe it or
not. Quinn, how do you know Kenny?
This is my older brother by blood.
Your older brother?
Yes.
And how was he as a younger? How was he as a brother? Did he get on your nerves?
He was a rotten child.
What did you say? He was a what?
A rotten child.
Oh, goodness gracious. Was he the favorite?
Of course. And a hater.
No.
Yeah.
Did you grow up doing music as well, Quinn?
Yeah, I took the band route to play the saxophone, so I had to let Quinn have the vocal component because it was hard to compete with
Now, I'm getting a little bit of feedback. So let me put you on hold or mute just a quick second. And I think that the feedback might be coming from Keisha. Keisha, how you doing, Keisha?
I'm good. How are you?
We are doing fantastic. Now, Keisha, how do you know Kenny Smith?
I know him because that is my husband.
Your husband? He got married?
He did.
And how is Kenny as a husband?
He's funny at times, but I love him. He's hardworking though, very dedicated to his family. He's great. He's fun to be around.
Now, I saw that you all have been going on walks and stuff like that. Is it hard to, do you still love him in this quarantine season?
Whew. Sometimes it gets a little hard. So, I still love him doing it. He's very interesting and he gets bored easily. So, he has a very creative mind.
Now, how are you all staying entertained with each other while still not getting on each other's nerves? I'm getting personal and deep.
We just do different things. Like recently, we had a date night in home because we couldn't go nowhere. So we decided to paint. Just trying to do different things, stay active. We play with the baby because he's entertaining all by himself. Yeah, just a lot of different things, getting creative.
It was cute.
Now, I saw you painting with the baby in one hand and the brush in the other. And rather than grab the baby so you could finish, Kenny grabbed the camera. Is it moments like those?
Moments like those. But did you see how the baby looked at him though?
Yeah, that. Why are you here? You see me with my like, look.
Those are the moments like that. He gets that from his father. He gets that from Kenny.
Now, how did you meet Kenny?
We actually met through mutual friends. My friend was dating a And so I
And
would
then,
travel down to South Carolina when they were having date nights, and we'll just get together and do like double dates. Yeah, and then they broke up. So they got
So
together so we can meet each other, and then they went their separate ways.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I need to. So those date night things really work then, huh?
You said say that again?
Nothing. I need to find me a wife. I'm just trying to figure out where to go.
You got to
Oh,
go on Tinder, friend. You got to go on Tinder.
I hope you find somebody. I hope you find somebody. This is what you like.
I'm gonna have to go to South Carolina. That's all it is. Ain't nobody here.
Don't go there. I had to get out. Oh no.
Well, I just wanted to get the inside truth. I know you had to get back to work, Keisha. Thank you so much for getting on and helping us surprise Kenny with your presence.
You're welcome.
yeah, I didn't know any of that was happening. So
Yeah, he's gonna be. Yeah, I like surprises. Thank you, Keisha.
You're welcome. See y'all.
Now, Quinn, when you were growing up and you all were both musically inclined, did you recognize how maybe he was getting the more favorable attention because he was better at the singing and stuff like that, or was it something, or were you the better singer musician? Like, give us the inside track on the Smith household.
Okay. So because Kenny was older, he just had more established relationships with the family. So me coming along, expectations were still the same, but just not as much. So he was definitely, trained and given more attention than I was because he was the oldest, which was fine. We used to compete sometimes. We have vocal runs and vocal battles at home. I played the drums at church and he played the keyboard, so we accompanied each other all the time to the point, where it was fun. We had a system. I knew my lane, and he knew his.
What now? We're gonna compliment Kenny a little bit since we've been picking on him a little bit. What maybe 2 songs do you love to hear Kenny sing?
2 songs. I've never shared this. Okay, I would have to say Indies. That song is one of my favorite worship songs. You don't need all the excess vocal lines. And then
I'm sorry, what was the name of that song again?
Indies.
Hey Kenny, can you sing a little bit of Indie for us, just a tad bit of it?
Take my life, Lord, and make me, mold me. I'm yours indeed. That's how that one goes.
Boy, and when he say a little bit, he means a little bit. Quinn, what was the second song that you like to hear Kenny sing?
My second favorite song would have to be Heaven. It wasn't on the Transformation album, but that one just the vibe, the beat. It's a movie. I love it.
Kenny, I know you don't have the vibe or the beat, but can you get just a little bit of it?
That goes on. I'm gonna worship for the rest of my life. I'm gonna praise him with all of my might. No reservations, cause I know who he is. And I wanna hear him say, well done. Yep, that's how that one goes.
Fire, sir. Is there anything that you can't sing? Have you tried country?
You say, what? Is there anything that I can't?
That you can't sing? Like, have you ever come across something and be like, ooh, I can't, I'm not gonna be able to.
Yeah, man, there's plenty of songs. I've over the years, my range, has kind of plummeted. I don't know. I think my voice just kind of settled into where it's gonna be. So yeah, I mean, there's songs today that I don't even mess with, and there's so many singers now that are so incredibly talented. That I mean, every couple of years, the quality of singers just goes to another level. So I'm about 5 years back. So
did you ever think about doing anything like Sunday's Best or America's Got Talent? Or
I did think about doing Sunday's Best, but I never win anything. So I was just like, and my nerves are bad. My nerves are bad, especially in small settings. I would have tore that audition room apart in a bad way. So
I'm sorry. I can't believe that about you, but hearing you sing, I still want a little bit more. I'm an old school, I'm a 90s kid, and I'm so happy that you don't mind singing stuff. And growing up under apparently Miss Gwendolyn Henry Smith, who definitely has love for her sons, I'm sure every once in a while she puts you down in front of the TVs, and maybe in front of one of those TVs you heard DuckTales. Are you familiar with DuckTales?
Yeah.
So finish the lyrics. I'm gonna sing the first part. Your brother Quinn's gonna sing the second part, and then you're gonna sing the last part.
Okay.
Life is like a hurricane.
Okay.
Birds, like phases, airplanes. It's the blur. Take it, Quinn.
Yeah.
But that's before my time.
That's before his time.
Give it to me, Kenny. Might solve a mystery.
I don't remember the words. I remember.
Or rewrite history.
I don't remember it. It's gonna DuckTales, something like that.
We should have did the Proud Family.
What old school songs, which or cartoon theme songs would you remember? It's one of the breaks that we got to do during the show. I'm sorry.
Old school cartoons.
Yeah.
You know the Proud Family, don't you?
Oh, Proud Family. I'll take Proud Family.
That's your generation. Go ahead. Sing it.
Go on and get it to us, Quinn, since you're trying to put it off on you.
Here we go. You and family, even when you're acting like a fool, you know I'm never saying anything you do. I know that I can always I'm loving you. What's the next part?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right then, Kenny. We need one from you. What you got?
I don't have any.
Flintstones, Jetsons.
I remember how they go. I just never learned them to sing them.
Okay. What is a song that you're watching or a TV show that you're watching now besides Tiger King on Netflix?
I'm a big TV fan, so I watch a lot of TV. I don't
What's
know.
keeping you entertained in this quarantine season?
What TV shows?
Yeah.
Oh man, a little bit of everything. Tiger King was very interesting, but I actually did sit through it. It wasn't my first choice, but I was just like, wow. What else am I watching? Ozark is pretty good.
Ozark was great. Did you finish it?
I finished it. It was
last scene.
It was something.
Dude.
Not to give it away, but it was something.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't mean to have Quinn. Oh, I didn't mean Quinn. Okay, so did you watch it, Quinn? The last season with that? Okay, so you don't worry about this one. We're not gonna give away what happened. Okay. But when what happened, weren't you like, I can't believe that happened?
I knew something was gonna happen because I know the show and it always ends on a cliffhanger, but I didn't expect it to go that way. I knew something was gonna happen between the parties involved, but I just had no idea it was gonna be that.
I cannot wait until next season.
Oh,
and I think my favorite character on there though was the girl from the trailer whose dad died. We're not giving away nothing on this one, but like if I wasn't in church, that's probably like her language, the way that she talks.
That's interesting.
That's all day, Doc.
Okay.
If I could write some gospel music that involved that word, I would try to. Never mind. I'll talk about my gospel writing later.
Okay.
But Kenny, we're running out of time, and I appreciate you so much coming on this show. 30 minutes goes by so fast when you're talking to somebody as interesting and as gifted as yourself. For those who are wanting to know how to get in touch with Kenny Smith, let me let you know right now, you're not going to be one of his friends. He's got 5,000. He's at capacity. So you're going to have to go to his like page. How do we get to that like page and your other social media, Kenny?
They can look up Kenny Smith Music Ministries on Facebook. They can follow me on my personal page. I have unlimited followers on there, so they can follow me there. Or on Instagram, Kenny Smith Music. Where else am I? Twitter, I'm on there. I haven't gotten the TikTok game yet, but I may get on there eventually. But yeah, or they can email my management or email me, kennysmithmusic@gmail.com. And I love to come out, hang out, worship with you guys, all of that jazz.
Virtually though.
Virtually for right now.
Yeah. We still on lockdown.
We on the lock. We can't go anywhere
until we get the remedy from Wakanda or something, wherever it is.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, Kenny. Quinn, thank you so much for coming on the show. Keisha, I know you had to get back to work. Thank you for coming on the show, and thank you all for watching the Je Vaughn Show today, where my guest was Mr. Kenny Smith. Make sure you all go follow him. Make sure you all like the Je Vaughn Show page. It's JE space VAUGHN. That's Je Vaughn. And make sure you come back tomorrow. We're going to have the BG Collective. Oh, that in there. BGV Collective. Marquise Collins and his group. They're going to be here tomorrow just giving us some knowledge. And then make sure you come back on Friday, where we're going to have the Good Friday virtual service right here, streaming around the world with ministers from all over the country. So once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Make sure you download it on the iDream podcast later tonight. And you know what? Share it with the world so that more people get to know about Kenny Smith. Until next time, God bless you and everybody around you. Thank you.
Peace.